It is a Saturday morning here in Mae Sot, Thailand, and it's a bit of a damp and wet morning. Rain all day yesterday, all last night, and forecasts say there's a 94% chance of rain today. So I'm not going very far today. I'm heading out for my morning coffee, and I'm going to a very special coffee shop here in Mae Sot. Kind of a special coffee shop in Thailand. It's not special to a lot of people perhaps, but it is special to me because, believe it or not, I've never been to one of these. And of course I'm talking about the famous Cafe Amazon. People around the world may never have heard of Cafe Amazon, but it is in fact, at least according to Wikipedia, the 6th largest coffee shop chain in the world. It's based here in Thailand. Their headquarters are in Bangkok. It was founded in 2002, 19 years ago now, and despite being so young, they have 3,333 outlets, mainly in Thailand, but also around the world. 3,333, and I've never been to a single one of them. That's crazy. So it's time to take care of that and add a Cafe Amazon to my coffee shop collection. As I said, there are 3,333 of them, and that includes 150 in Cambodia, 51 in Laos, 17 in the Philippines, and then a sprinkling of 3 or 4 or just 1 in a bunch of other Southeast Asian countries. If you're in Malaysia, I think there's 1 Cafe Amazon in Malaysia. I assume that's in Kuala Lumpur, but I don't know that. So that leaves something like 3,100 of them for here in Thailand. And as I said, this is the 6th largest coffee chain in the world, and it's a subsidiary of the Thailand state-owned oil and gas company, PTT. And as such, you often find a Cafe Amazon outlet located at one of the local gas stations. And oddly enough, the gas station where I almost always get my gas happens to be, I think, one of these PTT stations, and there is a Cafe Amazon located right there. I've driven past it a million times on my way to immigration and back. I'd even seen it. I'd even driven or past the entrance looking at it and thinking, yeah, I should go in there someday. But until this week, I had no idea what a big deal Cafe Amazon was. I didn't know that there were 3,000 plus of these things, you know, all across Thailand. I thought maybe this was the only one. But even the name, right? Cafe Amazon. What does that have to do with Thailand? You know? I mean, it's a good name for a coffee shop, and I guess they have kind of a jungle decor garden setting thing going on. I'm told that almost every outlet has an outside garden attached to it. And from the photographs I've seen, the inside tends to be quite spacious and modern. So you get lots of elbow room, lots of different types of tables and seating. So yeah, all in all, sounds like a very good spot for me, and a very good spot for going in the morning and setting up a kind of home office. You know, so I've got my home office gear all in my knapsack here, and I'm ready to settle in at Cafe Amazon and enjoy some of the morning. I'm still very curious about all these trucks. I see them lined up here and waiting, and they're right outside the Friendship Bridge to Myanmar. As far as I know, this bridge is closed, so I'm not quite sure what they're all doing waiting here. Could be one of two reasons. It could be that the bridge opens up at predetermined points in time, and then all these trucks will be allowed to cross. even though the border is not open to the public, or they're all heading to, whoa, I'm driving right past Cafe Amazon and the gas station. I was saying the other reason could be that they're going to Friendship Bridge number 2, and this just happens to be a very convenient spot for them to park. But here is the gas station, as I said. Yeah, PTT station. You can see the sign up there above the 7-Eleven, and here are all the there's all the pumps over there. And I think if you're traveling around Thailand in any form, especially on your own motorbike or scooter, you'd probably be very familiar with these places. Like they're sort of an oasis of the modern world. You got your 7-Eleven, got your gas station, and I think they always have little food shops as well at these PTT stations. So like this little spot here, get yourself a, kind of a tasty budget lunch. Clothing shops, I heard as well, are a big part of these PTT stations. I don't know why that would be, but that seems to be true. Like right there, there's a clothing shop as well. And right over there, the Cafe Amazon. And I don't know if this is one of the bigger or smaller Cafe Amazons. I don't know if they come in different sizes. As I said, I've never gone inside before. But we need a parking spot. Is this a dedicated scooter parking over here? Yeah, it looks like it. So we'll park right here. I don't think I have a lot of thoughts on my mind this morning, so this particular video will probably be a short coffee shop profile, and then I'll set up my home office in there, and that will likely be the end of it. But we'll see. Maybe I have things to think about or talk about. Yeah, this morning though, I'm a little bit out of it. I don't know if you have little clues that tell you what kind of a mood you're in, but in my case, there are some very specific tells. And one tell is what just happened. Like normally I would not be driving along and completely miss the place I'm trying to go to. Like I nearly drove right by this Cafe Amazon, though I've been thinking about coming here ever since yesterday, basically. I've been planning this little coffee shop trip, and yet I still just drove right by the place. Sure sign that I'm distracted this morning. And I'm just dropping things, which I never do. I was getting off my scooter, dropped my key to the scooter. I dropped my little mount for the GoPro. My glasses fell off. I'm just a klutz this morning, and if I'm being klutzy, that means probably I didn't get enough sleep, or I'm just not awake enough yet. Anyway, I'm all discombobulated this morning. Oh well. Anyway, let's head into Cafe Amazon. There's the logo for this place. Be interesting to find out the history of the name and the logo, because I mean, people in Thailand are very proud, as most people are, of their country, of their history, of being Thai, proud of their culture. So you'd think if they knew that Cafe Amazon was going to grow into such a massive chain and become such a huge brand, maybe they would have chosen something more Thai for the name, you know? But basically you've got Cafe Amazon, of course cafe, French word, and Amazon, you know, the Amazon jungle from Brazil. And here's their logo. There it is up there, a colorful parrot. And I've seen their logo in other places, and it sort of has a jungle theme. So it's got nothing to do with Thailand at all. You'd almost think this was like a Brazilian coffee chain, just based on the name. So I wonder if the founders of Cafe Amazon now are thinking back and wishing they'd picked a more typically Thai name for their coffee chain. I have no idea. All right, my first experience of a cafe Amazon. Oh, okay. From the outside, it doesn't look that big. And this is one thing I really love about it, and it's why I'm here. That sign right there opens at 7 in the morning. So, yeah, there you can see it's got kind of a jungle theme to the sign back there. The parrot and the jungle foliage. And they sell their own brand of drip coffee. So you could take a Cafe Amazon coffee home and make it yourself. And then, yeah, a lot of items you could buy here. Cafe Amazon branded t-shirts and tote bags. And it looks like, yeah, they make their own snacks as well. Coconut waffle, something or other. So to be honest, it has kind of a Starbucks vibe to me. I would call this the Thai version of Starbucks. And even the little display here where you get your coffee and your sugar and creamer and stuff. Oh, I walked right by the temperature checkpoint again. Another sign that I'm very distracted. 35.5. I'm sure that's not accurate, but at least I'm not too hot. Yeah, and they have some seating over here. Oh, it's interesting they still have the social distancing, like X marks, so no one can sit there. Just one person per table. And I guess this is their version of the garden. Wow, look at that. We've got a counter with some stools, a couple of tables, and then they've built their own jungle back here, their own Amazon with a waterfall. All right, time to go in and get settled down and then order a coffee. I didn't see the perfect dug table in there. Some are a little bit close, but not the perfect one. I think I'll end up sitting in the window actually because there's a counter there, kind of a wide, flat, square surface, which is what I'm looking for. And then they have regular chairs in the window as well. So it wouldn't be my ideal spot, but I don't see anywhere else to sit unless I want to try one of the stools. I'm going to go in and try out a couple of seating. I'm like a dog that way, or maybe a cat. Which one is it? You know, like a dog has to go to a place where it wants to lie down and go around in a circle a few times, kind of test it out, see if it's comfortable, and then they can finally settle down there. I guess that's what I'm going to do. Go try out a few different seating areas. It's too hot out here. Like outside would be nice, but why sit in the heat when you can sit in the air conditioning? So let's go try some seats. It's not perfect, but I think this is going to be my seat. It's not perfect because it has a stool instead of a chair with a backrest, and there's a speaker right up here, and they're playing some loud sort of corporate music. I don't know whether that's a copyright problem or not, but we'll take a chance. The place that has chairs with backrests is right in the window, and it's kind of a small, cramped area, and it's hot there right at the window, and you don't see anything except the parking lot and the gas station. So here I'm way off in the corner, and I'm commanding a perfect view of the whole coffee shop, which is really nice. That's what I wanted. So just have to get out the tools of the trade. My daily driver phone goes in here. And this is serving as my my computer these days, basically. And then I have my Note 10 Plus, which is my video editing computer. And little grab bag of gadgets to finish up the setup. Gotta have the mouse. And you need a wireless dongle, which is right there, which connects my keyboard and mouse to the phone. And basically turns my phone into a computer. There we go, all set. I'm becoming very efficient and fast at this process. All right, that's it, all set up. I'll show you my view of the Cafe Amazon. So there's my workstation, all set up and ready to go. And from my seat over here in the corner, that is my view. Look at that. It's like I'm in the Amazon. Yeah, nice place. The only problem for me is the stool, no backrest. But it's actually quite comfortable, so I can make do. Very pleasant interaction. I got a nice smile from the girl there. Even though she's wearing a mask, I could still see the smile, and people smile with their eyes. It's something you really notice these days in the era of masks. And they don't have it on the menu, but they have different sizes. I saw a cappuccino for 45 baht, and then she said in English, small or large, or medium or large. And on the menu, there is no large option, but of course I went for the large, 55 baht for my large hot cappuccino. So, yeah, there's an interesting sight outside. The garbage trucks in Mesot all have a pink motif. So whenever you see these pink trucks driving around collecting, they pick up garbage and then they do recycling at the same time. So they end up with that assortment of bags just sort of hanging from the truck all over the place. Looks like something out of a Mad Max universe. And there's another nice vantage point on the interior of this place with corporate jazz playing above me. I say I'm so organized, and yet whenever I come into one of these places, I always forget to get the Wi-Fi password. And then after I'm all settled in, then I have to go looking for it. I'm sure they have Wi-Fi, right? Okay. Oh, it's on the receipt.
Yes.
Some confusion there. Apparently, the Wi-Fi, they do have Wi-Fi, of course, but the password is on your receipt. And that was really funny because she was trying to explain that to me, of course, and language barrier. And then she ended up rummaging around in the garbage containers to find an old receipt. And then I started thinking, like, don't I have a receipt? Didn't they just give me a receipt? I don't know. I don't know where my receipt went. Anyway, I have someone else's receipt, and it has the password on the bottom. Boy. Something funny always happens. Well, for this kind of setup, and considering I don't have a data connection of my own on my phone, Cafe Amazon is not turning into my favorite place, because it turns out there was a password printed on my receipt. I finally found my own receipt, and every single receipt has a different password on it, and it's extremely complex password, you know, numbers and letters and all that kind of stuff. I don't know why they make passwords so complex. But then when you try to go in, it's a very complicated system. I've been working on it for about 10 minutes, and I finally got connected, because you've got to go through some weird menu system, which I didn't understand at all. And I finally got, it's not clear what network you're supposed to choose. And then you get this menu system, then you get past that. And then it asks for your password. And then it wants your national ID number or your passport number. You basically have to register an account with PTT. And then when I thought, okay, I'll do that just for the experience. I wouldn't normally do that, but I did it. And then once I registered all that information, it asks for my first name, last name. I have to agree to terms and services twice. Click on, yes, I agree to all the terms. Next stage, yes, I agree to all the terms. And then it gives you a countdown clock. After all that, you get 1 hour of Wi-Fi time, and the clock starts ticking from 59 minutes, down to 0. So you're on the clock. So, yeah. That was pretty crazy. I'm not used to it being that complicated. Every other place I've been, Wi-Fi is as simple as, oh, you want Wi-Fi? Here's the password. You're on Wi-Fi. But yeah, corporate, I guess. The bigger a company gets, the more unnecessarily complicated it gets. Maybe it's an insurance thing, corporate liability, that a company this large can be sued, maybe, if someone does something bad using their Wi-Fi, their internet, and they have to cover themselves using this system. Anyway, I appear to be on the internet. Finally. I think my coffee is cold now. It took me so long just to get set up. Just leaving from Cafe Amazon. You can see the place there behind me in the sign. And in a rare twist in my life, I have to deliver kind of a negative conclusion to my cafe review. I did not like this place at all. I suppose that's partially because of my needs. I don't have a data connection on my phone, so I need to use their Wi-Fi. And getting onto their Wi-Fi signal was so complicated. It was very off-putting. I would never come back here again if I had to do that. And on top of that, they only give you 1 hour of Wi-Fi. I mean, maybe they do that deliberately just to get people to move on. Like, don't spend 2 hours sipping your coffee in our coffee shop. But yeah, it just sort of feels like they don't want you there. They certainly don't want you there on their Wi-Fi, and they want you to leave, before your hour is up. So the Wi-Fi side of things, that was very unpleasant. I ordered the large coffee, and I was pretty happy at first because I got a big cup. And I thought, okay, I was talking about this the other day in connection with another coffee shop, how I kind of miss the big grandes and giant cups of coffee that you can get in some coffee shops that I don't seem able to get here in Mesot. And they gave me this great big cup because I ordered the large cappuccino. I think it even said 22 ounces on the side of the cup. Couldn't possibly be 22 ounces. That's like a big gulp, isn't it? Anyway, it was a big cup, and I was pretty excited. And then I picked it up, and there's barely any weight to it. I was like, what? There's nothing in this cup. I brought it back to my table, and at most it was 2/3 full. Probably not even 2/3. It was. It felt, to me, based on my expectations, as I popped the lid off, it was like it looked empty to me. It was like, come on, where's the rest of my coffee? I thought. And on top of that, the music. they've got this smooth jazz elevator music playing on a loop that just goes on and on and on until you want to punch yourself in the head to stop listening to this stuff. It's maybe some people like that corporate elevator music, and again, maybe it's designed to be a safe corporate environment, and then so people can only put up with an hour of it before they go out of their minds. But yeah, I couldn't stand that music. For something with Cafe Amazon as a theme, as a brand, kind of international jungle, I mean, can we get a little bit of world music? Like, give me some folk from various countries around the world. Give me something interesting to listen to. The music in there is just pure, it's just pure pain after a while. I couldn't take it any longer. And then, of course, because this is part of a gas station complex, they don't give you your own bathroom. So you're sitting in there and you want to go to the bathroom, and the bathroom is out here because it's part of this gas station. So you have to leave the coffee shop, leave all your stuff behind, unprotected, and then come out here, go all the way to this, outdoor bathroom that's being used by all the customers of this giant complex. And of course, you can't really leave your expensive smartphones and laptops and tablets sitting at your table. So basically, you have to pack up everything you have, go out to the bathroom, come back in, and then, take your seat again if that's what you want to do. But you can't really do that, of course, because by the time, even if you haven't finished your coffee, it's not like you can bring your coffee outside to the bathroom and then bring it back in. And if you leave it on the table, then they're going to come clear the table while you're gone, and you come back in and your coffee's gone. Anyway, yeah, it's just, I guess if you pop in here to get gas, you can hop into Cafe Amazon to get coffee, but I won't be coming back here to hang out and have a cup of coffee. There are far more welcoming places in Mesot. So I don't know. I haven't given cafes a star review, but out of 5 stars, 2, if I'm being generous. If the coffee was good and hot and big, maybe I could bump it up to 3, but yeah, 2 star out of 5 at the most for Cafe Amazon. Man, new feeling being negative here about coffee shops. Anyway, time to go. I'm actually going to go to another coffee shop because my coffee mood isn't over, but my time there is definitely over. So, see you in the next video.